Hello, everybody. My name is Clara,
And my name is Tudor.
and we are both members of the Bucharest Youth Model United Nations organizing team. And we are so pleased to be joined today by the members behind the When It's Over project, Christy, Tushi, and Chi. And thanks a lot for joining us today.
Um, Before we move on with the questions, we would like you to write down three expectations that you had from the collaboration between the Bucharest Youth and the When It's Over project, and we'll discuss it at the end of the interview. Okay, now we will move on to the questions round.
Okay, great. Um, we are super curious to find out, Christy, when did the When It's Over project actually started, and how was it?
So the project started, I think it started on a Sunday evening, right? Yeah, so it was a Sunday evening. I wasn't doing much. It was back like I've been home only for 1 month, like home. I'm living alone anyway, so just in this apartment. And I was like super sad and like I'm the type of person that when there's a problem, I like to chip in and be helpful, but I couldn't find any way to be helpful during the whole pandemic thing. And then like I was in bed watching The Office, I think. I think that's what I was doing. And then I had this idea that maybe we could create a hub for dreamers, like a place where people can say what they dream to do once the pandemic ends. And then I called Chi and I was like, hey, do you think we could create this website where people send their dreams and then they get uploaded and like we make a huge cloud of dreams where they can see them and vote them and resonate with them? And she's like, oh, why don't we do this on Instagram? And that's when like the idea shifted focus a little bit and went from like only dreams to like hopes to the small things that we will get to love more. And we did like a very big brainstorming with like lots of title ideas. Like this project had a lot of title ideas on the table, and luckily we chose the correct one. If we were to choose any other title for the project, if it would catch up so well. And then I went in a live video with Ana Zlatescu. You guys know her from your webinars. And when I finished that live video, she already had the prototype created. Like she created the first 9 posts, the page was live, and then that evening, like 2 hours later from when we started thinking about the idea, the page was live. And then we contacted Tushar because I knew from him that he was looking for things to do since he cannot go to work during the pandemic. And yeah, he's a very well-connected person, both within Romania and with like friends around the world. So we thought that he would be of great help to propagate this page.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Can you tell us
congrats.
some other title ideas that you had? Because you mentioned that there were several of them.
Gee, do you still have them somewhere? I don't remember where I stored mine.
It's probably somewhere on like Google Docs, but I know. So we like took 5 minutes and we both generated a bunch of ideas, and I know that a lot of them were like it contained the word dream in it, and we were a little hesitant to go with that because during a time like this, I think people don't think about like their biggest dreams because the privilege isn't there. Like you're worried about your safety and your family's safety, and so we kind of wanted to bring it back down from dreams such as career or something like that. We wanted to bring it down to smaller things that people can look forward to after the pandemic. And I think that like that's something that resonated with people a lot, because in times like these, like, yes, your life kind of gets paused, but there's still things that you really miss, and sort of getting your dream job feels just as important as like seeing your friend on a Friday night. So yeah, that's where we wanted to go with that too.
Okay.
That's so sweet. Oh,
So, from what we understand, you have a passion for design. Can you tell us more about it and how it all started?
Yes. So I go to Minerva Schools. That's a university in the US. And I started designing there. So we have a lot of like super active students in our class. And in our first year, everyone was like full of energy still and wanted to do a lot of things. And at that point, a lot of people were holding events and holding all sorts of stuff, and there was a need for someone to help them promote the events and get a higher attendance. And so I was just playing around in Canva, and I was like, oh, let me help you with that. I can like make a poster to help people come to your event. And I really started liking it because it's work that you can feel that you're doing. Like you go from a blank slate to a product, and there's no arguing that, oh, your career is like built on luck or your career is built on like only people referring you. It's literally you creating something from scratch. And I thought feeling of that was really powerful. So I got off Canva and I said, I'm going to learn to do these things from scratch. And that's sort of where it came from. So I only started in the first year of university, and now I'm finishing my third year. So I don't study graphic design, but it's basically all I do in my professional and free time. So yeah.
passion.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
And Tushi, why did you choose Romania?
My dad has been in Romania since 1994. He moved here for a job, and after he got stabilized over here, he opened his own business in 2006. And once he could bring his family over here, because when he was working, he was not allowed to bring family or over here, so he would come to visit us like every 2-3 years. So once he got his own business, we got to see him more often, and that's how we decided that now we have to move over here. So in 2015, I moved in Romania after I finished my 10th grade.
And
Wow.
this is how you
Yeah.
met Christy and Chi?
I met Christy in 2017 when I was finishing grade 12 in February, and I was looking for making more friends because I my only friends were inside the school and we didn't go out much. So I wanted to get to know other people and also learn Romanian much better than I used to before. So I looked up for events on Facebook and I saw this event which was being held at a cafe, and I thought it was a social event. I went there and I found out that it was an interview to be a junior organizer for Opportunity Weekend.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and I
God.
wasn't prepared for the interview at all, but Christy called me in. He came out and called me in. And the next day, I got a call from him that I'm a junior organizer at Opportunity Weekend. And that's how we became friends.
Wow.
Wow, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now a question for all of you. How did a day before quarantine look like for you, and what has changed now? What are you doing different now?
Okay, I think I can go because I really loved my life before quarantine. So me and Christy were on our semester in Buenos Aires, and it was the most beautiful semester we've had in these past 3 years. The weather was amazing, the classes were too difficult, the people were amazing. We were eating vegetables, we were working out, we were learning Spanish, and it just so going to our school is really tough because you move around a lot and it's really hard to like establish a really good routine for yourself because you're moving every 4 months. And this time when we moved, it felt like everything is in place, and I was so looking forward to just having a full semester of living a life that I'm like really happy with. And we were also planning a really big event in Buenos Aires, and we were so excited for it, but because of what happened, we had to like book a ticket and fly out within like 2 days of notice. So it was also, we weren't able to say goodbye to a lot of people. I ate some of the food and I didn't know it was my last time eating it. So that was like so sad. But yeah, I mean, you can't control these things. But if I could sometime in the future, like relive the life or like the day-to-day that I had in Argentina, I would do it 100%.
You wanna go next, Christy?
Oh my God, such an attention. Ah, he wants always to be like the main event. That's his thing. But I will ruin his party, and I'm putting something in the chat. I told you I'm the type of person, if I want to be helpful or if I want to do something, I do it. So here you go. This is the brainstorming document that I scrolled through my whole drive for like 5 minutes to find. So you can see all like dream plan, dream log, dream world, our tomorrow, I will. It's all of the ideas for the initial When It's Over project. So for me, the like lifestyle is very different depending on the time of the year. So if I were to be during the school year, which is when things got shut down because of the pandemic, as she was mentioning, life in Buenos Aires was very sweet. Like the weather was amazing. I would do a lot of stops at the empanada store because I really loved the empanadas.
Can you have one?
Yeah, and like ice cream was also like a big part of our Argentinian lifestyle. There were a lot of ice cream stores all over our neighborhood, and all of them were amazing. Especially like a huge variety of ice cream was like just in front of our building, and that place was open, I think, 24/7. Like sometimes on Sundays it would be closed in the morning or something, but at night, like we would play Uno or Mafia with our friends, and next thing you know, like our whole group of like 15 people would all go together, grab ice cream, and return to game night in the middle of the night, and that was amazing. So I really miss that, and I really miss the gym in Argentina. There was like this huge gym, and they had a lot of classes, and it was the first time in my life when I took gym classes. So I was doing power jump, body pump, and I went once or twice to boxing. It was definitely a challenge for me because I wasn't used to such cardio oriented classes, but I loved it. And now our main event, of course, please.
For me, the life before the quarantine was pretty busy. Like I used to do so many things with university, with work, and I love my work. Like I am a receptionist at the hotel, and I used to get to meet so many new people and get to talk to them, get to know their stories. It was absolutely amazing, and I loved all of the things that I was doing. But as soon as the quarantine started, all of them stopped, like completely stopped, and there was absolutely nothing for me to do other than just work on my bachelor's degree, uh, which I'm still doing. And after the quarantine, just when the quarantine started, Christy messaged me that Sunday for the When It's Over project, and he's like, we want to do something promote positivity and help people feel better while we are inside our houses and don't have a lot to do and just with our thoughts. So I said like I'm always in for things like that. Like I love doing things where I can help people make I can help make people feel better. So I was instantly into that project and we started working on it right then. And I really miss going out to clubs.
We totally get it. You're not the only one.
Hopefully next year we will get to do it more.
We will.
Yeah.
When it's over, we will.
Yeah.
If you were to, I don't know, to give a trait or a flaw to the other two members of the team, what would those be?
A trait
I,
for Christy would be that he puts a lot of work into everything he does. Like when he knows exactly what we have to do, he is completely prepared to do it. Like he takes it step by step and does all the work with all the research and everything. So I love that about him. And about Chi, she's amazing with her designs, with her like her aesthetics are absolutely amazing. You've probably seen the Insta story from yesterday with the cooking, with the baking, and everything is
I
amazing
love
from
that.
her. Yeah.
That's really sweet. Thank you. Okay, let me go as well. You can't be the only one giving compliments. Stop. Thank you. So I think for Christy, very much along the lines what Tushar said, but he's a very like he knows what he wants and he goes after it. And I think a big example with that is the merchandise that we released, because if he wasn't the one pushing it and the one talking to people and the one calling everyone, it wouldn't have happened. Because I feel like we have our role delegated so well that everything works out, but I don't think this would have been possible if it was just one person, because like Christy really he just knows what's good for the page, and like he's a really good strategist, and even in like real life and anything he does, there's just a lot of structure and drive in everything he does, and I think that's really great because not everyone has that. Like I sort of have like problems committing to one thing or staying with one project, but when he starts something he needs to finish it and he needs to like elevate whatever he's doing, because whatever he enters, like he can't leave it the way it was. He needs to make it better. Yeah. And Tushar is like the best person to ever like lead conversations with people or have people open up to him. He's super empathetic and he just knows how to talk to people. And there's a level of empathy that he shows to our community that I honestly couldn't imagine. So, sometimes we have these like stickers on Instagram that are like, I don't know, what are you doing today? What are you feeling today? And a lot of times we get messages that are from people that aren't feeling very well, or you can, of course you can. That aren't feeling well. And in normal circumstances, not everyone would respond to these people. But Tushar, he like goes the extra step and he responds to them. He sends them a video to brighten up their day. He lets them know that if they need to talk, he's there or we're there. And I think that's just another level of compassion and commitment to help others.
Okay, so the prompt is to say something nice about them and then something bad about them.
Yeah, quality and something
Oh wait.
bad.
So your guys' turn went up, so like you can't go back to the bad things about me. So the thing I would say is that like for Chi, I think she I don't know, like her like her sense of aesthetics is like nothing I've seen before. Like she can create like the posts that we're making, they're like basically like a copy pasted thing. It's like 10 words on them. It's not like a pattern behind it. It's not, there's nothing that's like super distinctive. But somehow she made something that's easily replicable, yet very beautiful, which is something that I think contributed a lot to our success, because people wouldn't put them on their stories if they looked bad, which I can say about a lot of the pages who copied our concept. Sorry, folks. And then about Tushar, yeah, he can see the good in people in any circumstances. I know, like in the beginning, there was this random dude from the US who was like 50 some years old, and he was like asking us the craziest, randomest, stupidest questions in the chat. And I wanted to test Tushar's kindness. So I was like, can you please take care of this dude? And he talked to that dude for so long, and he answered so many, like I wouldn't ever answer those questions.
Look at him right now.
So yeah, that was the funniest thing ever. And like, I'm sorry I did that to him, because like sometimes I like teasing him, but like he made the most out of it. And like as she was saying, like he takes the messages that we're getting, and like he doesn't just like, you know, those pages that just heart react and like on you go with your life. He's like, yeah, tell me more about you, or like, so I think this is a really good thing. So now I should start with the flaws, okay? I feel like that's the real deal here. So for Tushar, where should I start? So many ideas. So I think he is nice to people to a fault sometimes. Like sometimes he says yes to all the randomest people, and then he doesn't have time for himself, which I'm really happy that this week he took some time for himself. And if he wants to open up about that or say more about it, he can do it himself. But yeah, I feel like saying no to random people. That's something that he can definitely improve on. And about Chi, I think it's how, like, to have all the materials that you can see on her pages and on our page and all that stuff. There's a lot of work going into that stuff. But if it were for me to wait until she is satisfied with her design, we will launch the page in 3 months from now, not 2 months ago. So like it takes a lot for her to like her own work. So that's just not how I roll. Like I just ask her to send to me, and I'm like, okay, this is good enough. Let's make it live, because otherwise, like she's too tough on herself when it comes to art. Come on, insult me. I live for that.
No insulting on my part. About the thing you were saying.
Okay, I have something to say. Sorry.
You go first.
It's not an insult though, but like it kind of goes back to like the good characteristic that we were talking about. Like because he's like very managerial, but you know, sometimes I'm like an artist that works a little slow, or I need to take my time. But then Christy's over there like calling me, and he's like, look, you can take an hour and then just send it to me. It doesn't matter. But sometimes, yeah, like I think the way that I work with my insecurities or perfectionism with my work, combined with Christy's like managerial strategic advances, sometimes there's a bit of tension, but he's always doing it with good in his mind. I didn't mean to sever our ties.
about the thing Christy said with me responding to that American guy from before. Like when he tells me when he tells me to like, actually when anyone tells me to do something for them, I do it. Like for example, I was playing a game, League of Legends, for like for some time, and I was a new person in that game. So someone told me, stay in the bush until I call you back, and I stayed in that bush for like an hour. Like I was waiting for them to call back, and they were like, "Why didn't you come out?" And I'm like, "Oh, you told me to stay there. I stayed there."
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
So yeah.
What
But yeah,
about
she definitely needs to appreciate more of her work, because they really are amazing. And Christy needs to Christy's all right. He has some. He, it's okay.
because that because he's meeting me in 3 hours, so he knows he's in trouble.
Okay. Oh, I laugh so much. Oh God. Okay, now before we move forward, just a quick reminder for our listeners. When It's Over merchandise was just launched, and maybe Clara could tell us more about it.
Yeah. Not only that, the writing on the t-shirts and on the tote bags are extremely cute because um
Oh, thank
they
you.
will totally brighten up your day because the shirts brighten up ours. I feel like the main reason why you should definitely look out on the page. I feel like Christy wrote it in the chat as well, but it's at when it's over that project. Um, all profits go to a local charity here in Romania, and I don't know what else I could say. I'm just extremely proud of you guys. I know we just met a couple times, but you really outdid yourself and you have a big heart from us.
Yay! And
Thank
like
you
the
so
store
much.
has a 13% discount today, and tomorrow it will be 12%, and then it will be 11% because it's a countdown until the summer.
Oh, okay.
So every day
Oh
it
my.
changes by 1%. So yeah.
So you should be aware, guys, because now we will be moving to the more serious part of the interview.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
what is one thing that you expect to do when it's over? The one thing that you want to do when the quarantine is over, when the pandemic is over?
Okay. I have one like that I know right off the bat. Because we travel so much with our school, we're scared that this fall semester won't happen. But out of everything, I wish that our fall semester will happen and we're supposed to be in London. So I really want to go there for the fall to reunite with all my friends and sort of, live my life again.
On a less inspirational note, what I want to do is call my friend Eddie, who has like a Dacia Break from 2000, and I want him to come pick me up with that old car, and we should drive to Vama Veche, sleep in that car, party all night, and just like be able to run on the beach again and hug everybody and make like a ton of random friends that I will probably never see again, and like not care about anything. Yeah, that would be one thing, and the other would be buy a one-way ticket to the United States, go to a wrestling show with my favorite company, and not leave that city until I have a contract to work with them.
if you remember last year from Mama Veke, we were hugging random people on the streets while we were like it was 1 a.m. in the morning, and after we were at the party and we were hugging random people on the streets. The first
Wow.
thing that I expect to do when all of this is over is that, like, before the pandemic started, I won the Employee of the Year from my work, and I got 2 nights
Congrats.
to go to Paris. And me and Christy had planned to go to Paris together with that voucher and do a city break like that. So maybe after this is over, this is the first thing I would like to do.
Oh,
Nice.
First he would have to replace Christy with a girl, and then he would just go.
I'm sure all of you will be able to do whatever you guys desire to do whenever you want, even if you are stuck in home. We will go and have fun.
To
What
be
are
honest
your
with,
plans?
to be honest with you, I would like to sign up for all these amazing ideas.
Yeah, you're taken along.
Our plans.
Yeah, what do you want to do after this is over?
Wow. Okay, Clara, you wanna go first?
I think I do. I have so many things that I want to do, but firstly, I want to be able to spend time with my relatives. Um, Last week, my grandfather passed away, and because we are also in the quarantine and all this drama, it made me think twice, and I realized that family and friends come first, and I really miss you. So spending
We
time
feel
with the
you,
people I love. Oh,
and may he rest in peace.
thank you.
So the first thing I would like to do after this pandemic is over is to throw a huge party, like have all my friends invited, all the
I
people
completely.
that I enjoy interacting with, and I hope this will happen anytime soon because I can't wait to see them all again. And you are invited as well if you want to join us. Oh.
Back to the project itself. What are the tasks each one of you have to do? Your input. Christy, would you like to start?
Sure. So for me, it's like, as Chi and Tushar were saying, it's more of a strategic role. So basically, I always think about what's next. Like, what's the next step? Like, we launched the store in Romania. 3 days later, I was working with Chi and the girl from the United States to launch the store in the US. Now I have my mindset on the next collection of products that will drop in the coming week. It's always like, what's next? What's next? What partnerships can we make? What new things can we do? Okay, Tushan.
Yeah, for me, I do the communication part, so I work on talking to the people that send us messages.
Sorry.
So yeah, like I am the singer of this group, like Sean Paul, and like I reply to the messages. I talk to the people who reply on our stories. I post the stories. Like I work so all the stories other than the promotion for the last week, since I've been off for the last week. Uh, until then, all the stories that have been on our page are made by me, and working together with them, of course. We discuss the ideas, and I post them. I do the posting and replying to stuff over there. So I take care of the community like that.
Yeah, and as we talked before, I take care of the design part. So be it like every day we post new things, right? So I need to do that. as well as when we were working on the products now, I had to make the designs, make sure that the dimensions fit whatever the products need, the promotional Insta stories that we've done for the product. Also, like each of us, depending on our network or depending on who we know, we take care of the collaborations as we've done with you. So each of us has brought like a different organization or people that we've either helped out with our graphics. And when we get requests, like personalized requests too, it all goes to me and then I send it back ready.
A lot of work, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Seems that we are slowly approaching the end of the interview, and we'll have one last question, but do not forget that we'll have a final part when we'll talk about the collaboration. So, Clara, would you like
My
to?
favorite question. I've been waiting to ask you this since the beginning. What were the goals before launching the page, and where is the When It's Over project going to? What will happen with the When It's Over project when all of this will be over? So goals and future plans.
Uh,
Please.
do you want to be
One
the
at
main
a time.
event this time?
Could you please repeat because two of you were
Um,
talking?
like so for us, for me personally, the goals of our pages, our main goals are to make people feel more positive, make them feel like they're not going through this alone, and that we are all working together towards a better future. And we are waiting, all the small things that we didn't used to appreciate as much before, that we will learn to appreciate them more when the time comes. And I see the future of When It's Over being as something like a memory of what was, and to be held accountable for what comes next. So like all the people that have sent us messages, that we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to show it, and we want to see everyone we want to see everyone doing those things that they said that they wanted to do.
But did you expect to have such a huge fan base? I think you can correct me
No.
if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
You
you
have
had
Like
over
like
for
10,000 in
13,000
a couple of
followers.
days.
yeah,
Amazing.
at the in the first week we had so when we started out we had 100 followers from our family and friends. And but like I decided, like all of us, we tried to promote it absolutely everywhere, and I put it on all the groups that I was on Facebook. And like we did a lot of promotion for the page, and we didn't expect it, but like we went from 100 to 10,000 followers in just 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I was looking at articles where they said like get 10,000 followers and how to get 10,000 followers in 3 months, and we did those 10,000 in just 8 days, and that was like out amazing for me.
You influencers.
And speak
Yeah,
for yourself.
influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, that's the official answer that Tushar gave. But in actuality, like probably we will sell like stupid creams from the internet. We will give discounts for fake Nike shoes and sell irons for ironing clothes and stuff on our page. Like all good influencers do. Like
Sounds accurate, yeah. Mhm.
I followed a random influencer from Romania. She works in a radio and stuff, and I was like I had to unfollow her at some point because I couldn't handle the commercials anymore. Because every post was a commercial, and I'm like, how much do you really love ironing all this stuff? Like, come on, please stop. So we're trying to stay away from that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think maybe one more thing, like to the future impact. we're trying to do a lot of like charity work to try to, you know, kind of channel the number of our community to bigger and better things that are not online, because you can only do so much by sharing like an inspirational quote or something. But I think it's important for us to try to take that offline. And my hope would be for the project to be able to do more of these things after it's over, and be it once, I don't know, once human contact is allowed, maybe it could take some form of an experiential project, or just something that really connects people, not just through a graphic, but beyond that.
Okay, so this was our last question. Now we would like you to share with us what you have written down at the beginning of the interview. What were the expectations you had about from this collaboration?
Okay, I'll go first. I have 3 things. It might be also because I'm not Romanian, so I had a certain type of expectation. So I think it might be different than Tushar's and Christie's. But to me, like people that do MUNs and are so active in high school, they're people that are like super ambitious and do a lot of things. And so I was hoping that because our audience is mainly Romanian teenagers, that through this collaboration there would be a bridge built, and that, you know, people that follow our page would be able to maybe find your initiative that they didn't know about, and it could move them forward, and sort of bringing in an engagement. So as I was saying, like we don't just want to be online, but having like collaborating with organizations like yours, the people from our page can go do something in real life through us. So that was like the 2 points. And then also, I guess building a network for us was really important, because when we started it, it was like just us and our friends and our family. But the fact that we're even meeting you and having this conversation, I think it's really cool. And the fact that now maybe when I come to Romania, we will be able to have a conversation then. It's just, I think it's a great way to connect also for us.
For me, I think the expectation from this collaboration was first to like to build a connection with you guys. Like I have been part of a NATO conference, which is not exactly MUN, but something similar, and I love these things where people get to work on their social skills, and people get a lot of opportunities through these kind of conferences. And we wanted to get that to more people as well. So this would have been a great idea to build a connection where our work, which was to bring positivity and make things for people to look forward to the things that you are doing, which is practical work where they can put all their where they can put that work into uh, like into action, like they can put their work into action. So that was one thing, and the other was to reach out to a wider audience, because like through collaborating with you guys, we got to reach to a much wider audience in Romania, I think. Yeah.
My expectations were not as merry and optimistic as my colleagues, because I worked like I was the interface of a lot of partnerships when it's Overwise and Opportunity Weekend Wise, and it hasn't always been smooth. And like the conversations started, okay, we did some things for the pages, but then like my interaction with you guys was when I got offered the opportunity to be a speaker in one of your webinars. And as far as I've seen in other webinars, everything is like a whole mess, where like they advertise the webinar like 2 hours before, and then like 5 people show up and nobody knows what the hell we're doing and all that stuff. But like when I started working with you guys, I saw that all of you are like the most professional people. I'm not talking kids, high school students, teenagers, no, like people I've worked with. So yeah, I think that you proved to me, like you proved me wrong, and you proved that you guys have so much to offer. Like from the amazing Insta stories to the strategy, the follow-up, the advertising, the Google Forms that all of you send, the databases that you're building, the feedback forms, the way they're structured, the way your team took such good care to follow up with us, the fact that you're all so open to adjusting on the fly when something appears, like my work required me to join a call at 5 o'clock, and you moved this meeting for like accommodating this. Yeah, I think I didn't have like I'm not the type of person that's like all like butterflies and unicorns. I have good expectations all the time, but I'm really happy that we work together, and I hope we
Yeah.
can do cool stuff.
And me, all of us talked about you guys a lot of times regarding like the stories and everything you do. Like we were like, how do they do these things? Like we need to learn to do that as well.
Please
Yeah,
don't
and
let me stop.
actually,
I'm not crying.
oh, you can totally cry. I'll give you a tissue if you need. And on like Christy's point, I was able to join the webinar that he was leading, and I was super impressed. Also, like through the fact that people were sending in questions before, like I've rarely ever attended a student event that was that structured, and even just the things that people were sharing and the way people took initiative to even show up. Like it was a pretty full seminar, and I mean, I think it's honestly amazing the level of commitment and work that you're putting into this.
Wow, thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for all
Thanks,
of
guys.
this.
Of
And we
course.
are really happy to work alongside such talented people. You're amazing. And the work you do is also tremendous.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Likewise.
much for joining the interview today.
Thank you as
And
well.
we hope you had a great time.
Oh yes, we did.
We did. It was amazing.
Uh,
We're happy to hear that.
Thank you all so much.